folks. Before we go on, I just want to check on some sports stats, keep myself sharp here on the sports, and I'll use my computer and just go in here, and I'm going to check. Okay.
All right, folks. Too Much Dip podcast. Oh, I went too early. Dave would be so ashamed. Wow.
People love the bang.
I hope Dave does. He will. But look, Dave, I'm sorry. Look, you got Dylan on the boards today. All right. Too Much Dip podcast. Dave is out. We might hear from him at some point. He's going to call in during the football seg. We'll see about it. But for now, let's start with Micah. Mustache Micah is here.
Hello, and welcome to Too Much Dip. I am employing the comedy mustache today. It feels great.
What's comedic about it, really?
Well, I don't look good with this mustache.
Oh, okay.
And I'm willing to. I recognize that.
It's a self-aware mustache.
Yeah, it's for laughs. I'll probably get rid of it as soon as we're done with this pod.
Okay.
But yeah, it's great to be here. What a great overreaction Monday it is.
Yeah. Also, you don't have your microphone. We didn't let you bring your mic in here today.
Lots of complaints.
Too many complaints about the levels, so we're trying to remedy that.
Well, just for the record, I blame Dave. But Dave's not here, so he can't defend himself, and we'll see how that goes. I do not have a, I don't have an ulterior motive. I'm not trying to be the loudest person on the podcast. This is not my fault.
The good news about not bringing your own microphone into the studio is that we already have a pretty professional setup in here.
It's good. It eliminates one variable. If I'm too loud tomorrow, if I'm too loud this afternoon, I don't know. But I'm just glad to be here. I wish my chair was like 1 inch taller than you guys so I could do that power move. Just kidding. I don't have any inferiority complex. I'm excited.
Oh, from the guy who does tiptoes for every picture.
That's how I look best.
Not projecting.
Oh, you look best with an extra 3 inches of height? Yeah, I think we all do.
That's true. Well, it's more of a posture thing. It's not necessarily the height.
Anyway, we got KJ here, too. What's up, KJ?
In the building.
How we doing, buddy?
I am fantastic. That was going to be phenomenal, but I'm going to go fantastic. This is a strong Monday. Post-football Monday. All the teams are 1-0.
A lot of sports are happening.
A lot of sports are happening.
It was a great weekend of sports.
Yeah, it is. There's the oft discussed, like, how do you know when you made it in life? And a lot of people say, like, I don't know, refrigerator in the garage or, TV outside. For me, as someone in the podcast game, it would be sitting across from the Will DeFreeze during a live podcast. Like, I am so amped up.
There he is. What's up, Will? We got Will here for the first time. It's your TMD debut, man. How we doing?
Oi, bruv. Doing great. Been waiting a long time for this one.
You're so obnoxious.
I've been trying to shoehorn myself in here for a long time.
We're talking footy today. Soccer.
Yeah, I heard yesterday or this weekend was a big football weekend, so I thought it was time that I sit down and talk some football.
Okay, I see what you're doing there.
It's what the people have been asking for, not the simultaneous. There was a no-hitter yesterday. There's hockey. There's basketball playoffs. There's the first week of the NFL. There's college football.
There's a golf major this
There's
weekend.
a golf major. People have really been asking a lot about the EPL.
That's why we're going to lead off with it.
Yeah, you start with
no one thought was going to happen today.
Everybody knows the first rule of producing is you lead with the most important topic. So.
Before we get to the soccer talk, don't forget to follow Too Much Dip on Twitter. That's Too Much Dip with 2 P's, and Instagram Too Much Dip Podcast. We're stacking numbers, stacking followers. It's looking good. We got some good content.
Good content this weekend.
Content. Also, please subscribe, leave a review, and you know what? Tell a friend. How about that? Help us grow this thing. Word of mouth is the best way this thing's going to spread. It really helps us out. If you're enjoying it, share it with other people. And also, we have a Thursday live stream to look forward to. We had our first one last week. It was pretty damn good.
It was fun.
It seemed to be well received.
I have to applaud. Not only were the people in the chat celebrating Micah's looks, but the energy was quite electric by the end of the night. So it's going to be fun to follow that up week to week.
We'll be giving picks during that live stream.
Yep.
And then you'll be able to catch the live stream. We're releasing it on the regular feed, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
that's
will be
available soon after on the regular feed, so you can listen to that if you would like. Will, are you ready for soccer talk?
Yes, I've set a timer for 10 minutes that I'm going to press begin on, so that I don't.
It's a hard out.
Yeah, well, not for me, just for you guys.
Okay.
Sake.
Wow, 10 minutes. That's
10 minutes will off top, the top boy himself.
What is happening in the English Premier League?
I press start. 9:59. Well, gents, I've done you guys a favor. A lot of people don't know where to begin when they start watching this. They don't know what team they should be cheering for. They just go by the video games that they've been playing. They just maybe might like a jersey. So what I've done is I've gone through today, and I've chosen a team for each and every one of you for the rest of the season.
Oh, okay.
You get excited, Micah.
All right.
I'm starting off with KJ.
Okay.
You're an SMU guy.
I am.
You're not afraid to splash some money in order to make the team better.
Pony up.
That's why you're a Chelsea fan, my friend.
Okay.
They've just been doing everything this offseason. They've been getting all the guys.
They've been dropping the bag.
I think they've spent about $220 million in the transfer market this weekend or this offseason, and I have to say, I think it's going to work.
Feels like a lot of money.
Yeah. Some people say it's the Pony Express. I'm calling them the Honey Express because they're trying to score.
Oh. Wow.
Okay. I like it. What's the, not to throw you off, but what's the colors for Chelsea?
Blue.
Okay.
They've got
I
some
can run
great
with
new
that.
jerseys. I have to say, they've got some beautiful new jerseys that are out. One of them is trash, but their home jersey this season is probably one of my favorites. They have a logo on it. Dylan, we've talked about advertising logos on jerseys.
Yeah, they look really cool.
Yeah, this one isn't a brand that we're familiar with, so you can kind of just make up in your head that it's not what it is. Yeah, it's some kind of cell phone brand, but I don't know what it is.
Get on board with that.
I love it.
Looks like a 3 that looks like a cactus a little bit.
Okay.
Kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Now moving to Dylan. Dylan, welcome to Manchester United.
Oh.
The reason I chose that for you is
Feels
because
strong.
you're also a fan of something that one of their youngest players has become a fan of this past weekend. 18-year-old Mason Greenwood, their new wonder kid, he got caught doing whippets this past weekend. So, as a fellow whippet boy
Dude,
yourself,
he likes to party. Mm-hmm. Wow. Look, I don't do whippets. You know, a lot of people think I do, but 18 years old?
yeah, he's the wonder kid.
Jeez, she's a child.
He also just was recently caught sneaking girls into the hotel
Yeah, this
in
guy parties.
Iceland.
This
so-
guy parties.
Yeah, he
What
kinda
team
has
is this
Dylan
again?
vibes. Manchester United.
Is he good looking?
Man,
Is he a
you.
stud? Mm-hmm. Is he handsome?
He's a good-looking kid, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, he's a good-looking kid.
for him.
I'm not really.
Maybe you do have
He's
something.
got the
in
world by
common.
the balls right now.
He's going to be very good in the coming years
Good for him.
Yeah.
and in the years
So to
coming.
speak.
Yeah, what kind of years?
Mike, are you ready for your team?
Micah, stop.
Sure.
You're an Aston Villa boy.
Okay.
And no, it's not because you pull a ton of ass. They've got a player named Jack
I'm happily
Grealish.
engaged, just for the record. Go ahead.
They've got. That's why I said you don't pull a ton of ass.
Thank you, Will. Yeah.
Aston Villa. Randy, can you throw a little graphic up on the screen for Micah? There's a player named Jack Grealish, and I'd like you to look at his calves.
Oh,
my
my
God.
goodness.
The dude can't even put on shin guards because his calves are so
Oh, that's
big.
okay.
What
Shouts
the
to
hell?
this guy.
Yep. I was kind of hoping that Aston Villa would get relegated last season so that Manchester would buy him. They're still trying to do so, maybe, as a backup plan. But as of right now, he's a Villa boy.
Those are too big.
What's this guy's name?
Jack Grealish.
Wow. I need a.
His bottom half doesn't match his top half.
Yeah.
What, you mean the bottom half looks like Micah and the top half looks like Zac Efron?
I need a silicone cast of what he's got going on with that arm there.
Top
That's
half looks
intriguing.
like a. Never mind.
Look at this guy. He's getting snubbed by the English national team. He got called up, but it was only because of an injury. And, yeah, it's just too bad. He's a great player, and he needs some more recognition.
I can't stop looking at his calf.
So
Wow.
let me ask you a question, Will.
Yes.
If my team was almost relegated last season, what are the chances they're going to be any good this season?
High, because
Oh.
another team in the Premier League who was promoted last season, Leeds, I think is going to be good enough that they're going to have to toss another EPL team down the drain for relegation this season.
Oh, so the chances of relegation are high. The
High.
chances of my team being any good this season are low.
Correct.
Great.
I'm not sure what question you asked. I just started talking.
It's a,
It doesn't matter.
Let's hope it's Aston Villa
really
and not
doesn't.
Fulham.
It really doesn't.
And I did choose one for Dave, even though he's not here. Dave should be a Bayern Munich guy because he was
German.
born in Germany.
Sure.
And they did just win the Champions League. But because we're talking EPL right now, Dave's a West Ham guy. They're the Hammers, and Dave keeps that thing on him.
You talking about his penis?
Yeah, I'm talking about that.
Aren't you sure? Shouldn't that be Dan Register's team?
Dan's not on too much dip, so unfortunately I have to take him out of the conversation. I will also say that part of the reason I chose this for Dave was also because their manager, David Moyes, his name's David.
Okay.
And they've got a few different owners, but the majority owners who own 86.2% of the club, both of them named David. Who would have thought?
Wow.
Who would have thought?
Wow.
A lot of Daves hanging out. You guys want to hear what happened this weekend?
Yes.
Good, because we got less than 4 minutes left, or we got 5 minutes left.
Can I interject a quick breaking news thing?
Yeah.
I would like to announce that Circling Back has reached 10K on Instagram.
Bang! It's good!
Let's go!
That is big for
We
you.
got
I
there.
love it.
All right,
that K.
I'm adding
Got
20
that.
seconds. After
Got
the
that
timer goes
swipe
off, I
up.
get 20 seconds.
Okay.
This weekend in EPL, not all the teams played, guys. Some teams got a little time off because they played later into the season due to the COVID stuff.
How far into the season are we?
Week 1.
This is week one.
Week
Okay.
1. Arsenal, who people are pretty high on them this season. They beat the newly promoted Fulham 3-0. I have concerns that Fulham's not going to score a goal this season, but that's just me. Aren't you a Fulham guy?
As of Saturday morning, I'm a Fulham guy. Shout out to Jags owner Shahid Khan. It's his EPL team, recently promoted. All in on the Whites.
They're a fun team. They've got a lot of American heritage. Brian McBride. They've got it. But
Tom Crean? I don't know his name.
All I'll say is that
Tom Crean, one of the
they're
other.
going to be a tough watch this season. They're going to be a tough watch.
Unless you watch their manager.
Yeah, he's an absolute snack. They lost 3-0 to Arsenal. But yeah, Fulham may be absolutely terrible. But I do think Arsenal's going to be sneaky good this season. Liverpool in a thriller with Leeds, newly promoted Leeds. Actually, Leeds is Brett's team because he just loves getting a good lead. Come on.
He does like to follow a lead.
That's a bang.
Yep. I will say Liverpool won. They had 2 penalties, one in the 4th minute and then one towards the end of the game. Some people are calling them Live Varpool, VAR, replay system, Dylan. Very controversial.
Wow.
Leicester City,
crazy.
one of the most exciting teams. They did beat West Brom. Party Vardy, he was late to seal the win. They won 3-0. He had 2 goals late in the game.
They won the championship a couple years ago or something crazy?
I think it was 2016 they won.
4 years ago.
And they were odds on probably the biggest long shot.
Yeah.
There needs to be a movie made about
That's why
them.
it sticks out to me.
One of the coolest things ever.
Right.
Yeah, and then unfortunately the owner of the
coolest.
team died in a helicopter crash outside of the stadium while he was leaving a game. And so things have gotten a little emotional over there.
All right,
Wow.
man.
And then the final game we'll talk about this season or this week was Everton edging out
dream.
Tottenham. Tottenham's got a big American
Tottenham.
viewership. Dylan, you've been watching All or Nothing, Tottenham.
I've watched 2 epis.
2 episodes, okay.
Yeah.
There's 9 released at this point.
Okay.
So you got a lot of making up to do.
I got time.
Carlo Ancelotti's boys, though, they're looking good. They're looking good. He came from Napoli last season. Ever heard of that?
Well, yeah, of course.
We've never been. Apparently, it's quite dangerous there.
I've been.
Okay.
Well, I was passing through going to Capri.
You got out alive, so it couldn't have been that dangerous.
Yeah.
You're still here.
I was passing through.
As
I
far
took a
as
cab ride. That's it.
as far as getting into this stuff, guys, I mean, Dylan's doing the right thing. He's watching Tottenham All or Nothing, and that's a direct way. I will say on Amazon Prime, Leeds also has a series about their team. It's not from this past year, but it's from before. Again, worth watching.
This has been the year of me getting into stuff that I haven't traditionally been into. F1.
Shouts.
Hockey. I'm giving soccer a chance to earn some of my business. I'm not going to be all in on soccer.
You're never going to watch soccer.
Probably not.
You're going to watch the specials because it's like Hard Knocks for soccer.
I do like the stuff surrounding soccer.
It's fun.
Like when it comes to the on the field product, I'm out.
We get it. You like 18-year-olds doing whippets.
I like the 18-year-old whippets and all the money that they're throwing around.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It's crazy.
One quick question before you run. How do you think AC Richmond's going to do against Crystal Palace?
It's hard to say. AC Richmond, they've been having a tough go at it, but they beat Everton in this past week. So that's big.
I'm just getting into them, just checking it out.
What a heartfelt show. Do you guys want my season predictions right now?
Absolutely.
I will say Leicester, who we just spoke of, I think they're going to finish outside of the European spots. Unfortunately, they're a good squad, but I just don't think they have it this year. In the Europa League spots, number 5 and 6 in the league, Micah, as you know, 5 and 6 don't go to Champions League; they just go to the Europa League, which is Champions League diet.
With better music.
Is going to be Arsenal and Tottenham. Unfortunately, I think Arsenal, while being a great team, I don't think they're going to get there. Tottenham, they just don't have enough depth. You're going to learn that very soon, Dylan.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
As for the top 4, I think Man City takes the title this year. They're just good. They're adding players. They're going to be good. And this is a generic take. They should probably win every season. But Liverpool, I think they might take a step back. I do have concerns about them. Their defense looks shaky at best. I think they're getting a little too comfortable. Maybe it's just a championship hangover. And unfortunately, I have Chelsea finishing 3rd above Manchester United with all the money they've been spending. I think they're going to have a very good go at it. They might even finish 2nd. Who knows? But as for Manchester United, Dylan and my team, we're supporters.
Big United guy.
Unless they get Sancho, which has been just an ongoing saga for the entire offseason.
When will it end?
It certainly
be
had
tough.
my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who knows? I've been reading on Twitter. There might be a bid in the next 24 to 48 hours, so we'll see. But Manchester starts the season next week, and it should be fun.
Wow.
I didn't hear anything about Aston Villa.
It's because you're not there. If I did my relegation rankings, I would put Aston Villa in there because I think that there's a very good chance that they're going to suck and they're going to have to get rid of Mr. Cavs, Jack Grealish. If that's the case, Micah, the team that's hot on his trail are Manchester United. Oh, that is the timer, guys.
Time's up.
That is the timer.
You crushed that. Sick.
Well done, bruv.
Oi, oi, thank you.
Way to go, bro.
Gents,
Thanks, Will.
I'll see you soon.
All right, you're out of here. Tell Brett to come on and sit in the hot seat.
I'll tag him in.
We're going to talk hockey, but we'll probably talk football before we talk hockey. So
Go Lions.
he's welcome to hop in for that. Thank you, Will. That's your EPL segment of the week, guys. Let's talk
A lot of people
football.
didn't think we'd get there. I'm glad we gave the people what they wanted. Thanks, Will.
Hey,
Why don't we call Dave Ruff?
Oh yeah,
you want to get
let's
Dave on,
do that.
on
How
the
about
horn?
that? Let's
He's
see
gonna-
if
We're
we
talking
can,
NFL football now. Dave's going to call in from the colonoscopy table.
Yeah, he said he had hot takes.
Yeah, he's got something to say. We don't know exactly.
And
what
after
it is.
last night's Cowboys performance, he should. We should. I have hot takes as well, but I want to hear what Dave has to say. The anticipation is really.
answers.
Yeah, I think he's anticipating this. I bet he comes in hot.
Yeah, this is Dave.
Hey, Dave. This is Dylan, Micah, and KJ with the Too Much Dip podcast. How we doing today?
What's up, man? Is this going to take long?
Well, it's up to you. It's kind of up to you, man. We just concluded soccer talk. Now we're talking NFL.
The National Football League.
Yeah. You want to start? You got something to say about the boys?
You sound like you're in a dark place.
We the boys. Do what?
You sound like you're in a dark place.
I've been under anesthesia for the last 45 minutes. But I'm not in a dark place. I'm happy with it. You know what? Mike McCarthy going for it on fourth down. Let's go. Ultimately, it didn't work out, but we them boys, at the end of the day, Zeke looked like a baller. He's got that dumbass tattoo. Let's fucking ride.
That the fourth down call, I didn't understand that whole sequence at all. But I think the Cowboys look good.
You know why, Dylan? Because you don't understand aggressive football like I do.
I mean, you're down 3. That's a chip shot field goal to tie it up. I don't know, but I don't get paid millions of dollars.
Hey, if there's one thing I've learned, Dylan, there's nothing easy in the NFL.
All right, Dave. Parks is he's missing you. He's been trying to get my attention all day, asking where Dave is. I had to fill him in on your procedure today.
He just wants to beat the crud out of me.
Yes, he does. He misses it. I
listened to some of your Circling Back podcasts, by the way.
Hey, did you see that Jarwin's out for the year?
Non-contact injuries are always a problem. What was it, ACL?
Yeah, it's torn officially. He's out.
Van Der Esch out.
Oh, my God.
Van Der Esch out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken collarbone.
Van Der Esch should just hang it up. I'll say it.
You mean that for his protection, not out of a judgment standpoint, right?
No. Not because he's a bad player. It's just like, dude, the neck thing. I know it's a collarbone, but it's close enough to the neck to where it gives me pause. And so our linebacking course stinks. Jalen Smith's gone. He's also washed.
Man,
He's joining Wash Media?
Welcome to the team.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't supposed to announce that yet, but yeah, we did. We hired him.
So we're going to fly up to Frisco each week and do a podcast with Jalen Smith. Is that the plan?
I think they have a podcast studio in the Star.
Fair.
I'm
Fair
sure
enough.
they do. Yeah, what is it with Cowboys white linebackers just can't stay healthy, man? Sean Lee?
Whoa, dude, chill. That's not cool, man.
I'm just saying.
You've
What do
got
you
a
mean? You're
point.
trying to say Sean Lee can't stay healthy? Because that's absolutely accurate.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm saying here.
Did you have any other thoughts
That's
on
cool, man. I mean,
Sorry, Dave. You have any other thoughts on the football yesterday?
let me tell you, there's no better way to watch a Cowboys Sunday night loss than while you're drinking a bowel prep for your upcoming colonoscopy. Let me just tell you that.
You had to clean the pipes out, man.
Oh, and clean they were.
So you were truly waiting all day for Sunday night.
I mean, my entire day just was a big lead up to just whatever that was.
Fair. Any final thoughts on the day, earlier games in the day before we introduce Brett to the show?
surprisingly good football, right? Like,
Yeah.
considering everything, like I thought it was pretty quality football.
We had the Breeze-Brady matchup.
Yeah.
Saw how that went. Saints put it on them pretty good.
Oh, my Uber driver this morning, we were talking sports. He's a Saints fan, and he goes, you're a Cowboy fan? I was like, yeah. I was like, what about you? Like Saints? I was like, oh yeah, man, they look good yesterday. He's like, yeah, Brady's a bitch. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, Dave, Brett Merriman of the Washed Media umbrella here. Hope you're feeling okay. Wanted to know what your first solid meal is going to be in the past 48 hours or so.
So, as we speak, I'm drinking a vanilla milkshake from Chick-fil-A, and I've got some nugs and waffle fries I'm about to just pound.
Oh, so you're finished then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm done, dude. I'm really groggy from the sedation, but I'm good.
Oh, so you're completely out of it when they do that. I was not aware.
Everything looks good. For the record, everything. They said everything looks good. So
Hell yeah.
That's right.
Let's go.
It's good to hear.
Hey, we also just hit 10K on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
That's huge.
I hit him with a double bang when I announced it about 10 minutes ago.
Be a real shame if Too Much Dip got there.
Real shame. Too Much Dip Podcast on Instagram. All right, Dave. What you got? Anything else before we kick you off? You got anything else you want to share with the squad?
Are we picking the game? Can I pick the Monday night game?
Get us your Monday night picks.
All right, we got Steelers -5.5 at Giants. I'll let you start there.
Ooh, -5.5. Why is it moving? You know what? I'm about to get a little loco because fortune favors the bold. Give me the Giants.
Okay, Giants +5.5 for Dave. We got Tennessee -3 at Denver.
Oh, it's a doubleheader. I completely forgot.
They're having the time of their life.
Okay. We need to add that drop.
I'll find
Give me the Titans. Vrabel.
Titans -3. We're saving our picks for later. Or how are we doing this, Micah?
Yeah, we'll hit it here in a second, but
Okay.
we'll let David get to his notes.
go.
Oh, wait a second.
I'm going to go.
The most important game of the night, Dave. Stars +148 right now.
Ooh.
Do they close out?
We close it. We close it out tonight. They're demoralized. Let's go.
Love it.
All right, there it is.
Dave Ruff.
Sorry, John.
No, they're down. We're down 1-3. All hope's pretty much lost at this point, unfortunately. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. What a frustrating game to watch, or sport to watch for me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, you got Pavelski hitting flop shots from the backhand.
What the hell was that, man? What was that? What? And the 5-on-3 that they didn't capitalize on. That was crushing. You can't come back from that.
To quote a great man, the Stars look like that effing team.
They're hot. They're hot. All right, Dave.
All right, lads. Thanks for calling.
Enjoy the nugs.
Hey, happy podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was Dave Ruff.
There he is. There's Dave.
Before we move on, I've got to talk about the Cowboys because I don't want to fight with Dave. I know he just
let's run it back. Go back. Not run it back, but let's.
I don't understand for my life how David Ruff or any human being could watch that Cowboys game last night and be encouraged about this season. This team is fucking terrible. They were fucking
not terrible.
They were fucking terrible last year. They are perfectly mediocre, just like they always are. They're trash. They are garbage. Mike McCarthy I was not excited for him. He is not a good coach. Maybe he is a good coach. That was poor coaching. There is no excuse. I don't give a shit about this aggressive nonsense. I read a thing in the Fort Worth
Star
Telegram today where, this gamble may turn out better down the line. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. The team does not say, oh, you know what? Our coach is going to go for it on fourth down. He's got such confidence in us. That's bullshit. You got stopped. You kick a field goal when you're down by 3 points to tie the game in the fourth quarter when it's 4th and 3. It's not that hard. It was a brutal decision, and almost a fireable offense. I hate him. He is fat as a house. I can't stand anything about Mike McCarthy to begin with. He made nothing but excuses after the game. We could talk about the offensive pass interference. It was certainly questionable. That was a terrible, inexcusable thing. And the Cowboys are just a mess. They have no depth. They've overpaid their stars like they always do. You have a couple injuries. This team is going to get worse and worse. And 8-8 is just a fever dream, just like it is every year. It's just the most perfectly mediocre franchise in sports. I hate the fact that I picked them as my lock of the week last week, for Christ's sake. I didn't put on a fucking cowboy hat and look like an asshole.
That's where this is coming from.
This team is trash. They will continue to be trash, and they're just wasting the talents of their talented
you need
stars.
To slow your roll a little bit. Okay. I thought there were some encouraging things going on in the game. You can't call them trash just after that. Aaron Donald, on the other hand, is an absolute
bad
monster, and he controlled the game from the defensive tackle position. That guy is
the Cowboys' offensive line has problems.
Before we get too far, do we want to properly welcome Brett Merriman to the show? I know we
Brett?
chatted with
what's going on?
David there for a moment.
Now in Will's seat.
I'm ready to talk puck. Yeah, it's weird being in Will's seat, which ipso facto was sort of Dylan's seat, but I'm happy to be over here. It's kind of weird talking with the microphone arm on the wrong side, but let's talk sports.
Well, before we talk puck, we're going to talk college football. But before we talk college football, we're going to talk Hello Tushy.
Great sponsor.
Do you have a butthole, Brett?
Sure do.
Okay.
Sure do.
This ad is for you.
But not the guy who runs North Korea?
Yeah, this
basically everybody
ad
but
does
Kim.
not apply to the leader of North Korea. Okay. It's hard to believe that when you go to the bathroom in this country, most of us wipe instead of wash.
Yep.
Right?
Sure is.
For years, bidets have been available but hideously expensive, costing thousands of dollars. You guys have been using one, right?
I've got it in the house, locked and loaded.
Tell me about your experience with it, KJ.
I will say this. After enduring months of not knowing if I could go to the store and come back home with proper TP in tow, having the Hello Tushy at the house is a godsend. I know that I can go do my business and come out squeaky clean, like almost clean enough to where I can get busted by the wife of like checking out the results in the mirror, but things have been great.
And for just $79.
Can't beat
you don't have to
that.
spend thousands like on a traditional bidet.
Love it.
And it attaches right to your toilet. How about that?
I'd like to talk about bidets, Dylan.
Okay.
I think a wise man once said, if you have a stain somewhere in your house, are you just going to take a dry paper towel and try and clean that stain?
Sure.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, you might, but that's probably not the most effective method.
My favorite example is bird poop. If a bird poops on your arm, what are you going to do? Just wipe it dry?
No, you're going to spit on your arm so you get some liquid there, and then you're going to wipe it dry.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably you wouldn't spit on it, but you'd find some liquid.
Find some
Spit on it, bae.
some water.
Well, right now you can go to
do that.
hellotushy.com/bang to get 10% off. This is a special offer for our listeners. Go to hellotushy.com/bang for 10% off. hellotushy.com/bang.
I believe that's pronounced /bang.
Bang.
Parks has to go potty. You guys start talking college football. I will be back.
Before we do college football without you, I do want to make sure that people understand my Sunday was quite electric, and there are some other games that took place. I will defer first. Brett, did you watch or see anything of the Buffalo Bills?
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, the Bills coverage doesn't get we don't get the CBS
Fair
limelight. I spent my afternoon watching the Patriots game.
Yeah.
But the Bills, you know what? I'm happy for the Bills. They have a team. You know what? The Jets suck, like beyond suck.
Fair.
And nothing made me happier than seeing Baker Mayfield only put up 6 points.
For sure.
But I'm happy for the Bills. I'm happy they have a team. I'm happy the Patriots have a quarterback. I was excited just to have football back in my life this weekend.
Bills were legit. That was one of my biggest takeaways from the weekend. The Bills were absolutely legit.
You did the Josh Allen experience, the roller coaster, and you even got some yesterday. But
led the team in rushing, 2 touchdowns, missed another wide open touchdown pass. It's the whole Josh Allen experience.
It really is.
Without the deep ball threats, I will throw this out there for people to mull around who are aware. Might be the white Dante Culpepper. I say that mostly because of his stature, also because of his fumble habits.
two lost fumbles.
So that was a big takeaway I had from the day. Also, Obviously, I've got to say, Jags just absolutely
Got
manhandling
to go.
the
The
Colts.
biggest underdog victory of the week.
It was,
and an ass kicking.
yeah, a Doug Marrone, just just taking apart the Colts piece by piece. By that, I mean managing the game to success. Gardner Minshew, 19 of 20, no interceptions.
It's pretty good.
Took care of the ball. That's what you want to see out of the Jags. Defense made some big plays to wrap it up. And
Aaron Rodgers reloading.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Jeez.
my goodness.
For the offseason for Aaron Rodgers to be about not having any weapons drafted for him and then him to come out and light it on fire like that, it's like, well.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
You can see why they went quarterback in the draft, I guess.
Weird. My big takeaway is obviously the Saints beating Tom Brady and the Bucs, which is still weird. Some weird things happening in that game. The Saints recovering like a kickoff thing. That it wasn't an onside kick, but it's sort of a pooch kick.
Mm-hmm.
Things that Brady's teams probably aren't used to having happen to them. Like this stuff doesn't happen to Belichick teams. And they were fairly close. The Saints win. The two exciting ones to me were the Lions, and I can't believe we let Will leave before we talked about this, blowing a 17-point fourth quarter lead where they kept showing on Red Zone that they were like 0.001% chance of losing with like 4 minutes to go. They blew it to the Bears and fucking Mitch Trubisky. I mean, that's got to be slap yourself in the nuts.
Anything you want to say about that real quick, Randy? Just a dab. Just a
dab.
non-verbal dab. There you go.
And then the other just terrible, pathetic choke job is the Eagles leading 17-0 at halftime against Washington. And then the Washington professional football team running off, what was it, 24? 30? Well, I think it's 24 unanswered to win 24-17.
Yeah.
Apparently Ron Rivera, who has cancer, was on an IV drip at half.
Yeah, that was planned, though. Like,
okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But he got the juice back for the Washington foot 27-17. So they scored 27 points. The only thing I will say, Scott Hansen, I love the man from the Red Zone the most.
Friend of the program, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. He's got to quit doing
Tells a good story.
He's got to quit doing the football team bit. He kept doing it yesterday, and it just wasn't great. Like, he was like, the Eagles playing the football team. And I'm like, I know it's week 1 and you're trying to get these out. Just say Washington. The Eagles are playing Washington. You don't have to say the football team. He did it like 3 or 4 times yesterday, and it wasn't great.
Quick note on Red Zone. Am I the only one who doesn't love the Octo screen?
Oh, Octobox is dope.
Octobox,
I get five eggplants out of 5 every time Octobox.
The boxes are too small.
I've got a reasonably large TV.
You can't watch 8 things at once.
It doesn't matter. It's awesome. Octobox rules.
Even
if it doesn't make sense. Even if you can't physically see everything that's happening. It's good for just a second.
Yeah.
They don't keep it up for hours.
True.
Shout out to YouTube TV for getting Red Zone. I used to not be a fan of it because they were too, especially in the morning slate when you have too many games, they were too much only Red Zone and scoring plays. You weren't getting any build-up. The afternoon slate with 3 games, it was perfect. You saw drives develop, you saw scores. Cut out all the other BS. So, and we're back.
I will give a total anti-shout-out to AT&T Uverse or AT&T TV, whatever they've rebranded.
Anti-shouts is a good sign.
Anti-shouts, who still, for the second consecutive year, does not have an agreement with NFL Network or Red Zone and has forced me deep into the dark, dirty web to find illegal streams of Red Zone. I want to pay for NFL Red Zone. I want to do this. I want to pay an extra $7 a month for it. Instead, my computer caught fire last night and almost burned my house down because I was so deep in the dark web. Shouts to everybody who helped me out on Instagram or on Twitter with suggestions to weird places. There's porn popping up. It was bad.
For you.
It was not great.
You had a night.
I mean, I've got the Chromecast going, and Caitlin walks in like there's the underage porn, like, well, maybe not underage porn, but like barely legal porn popping up, and I was like, okay. The dark web is it's scary, man. I don't like it at all.
Like, that was just Wayfair. Sorry. I take that back.
That's
I didn't
full
mean
circle
that.
there.
All right. Let's shift it into high gear.
Do we
now.
want to pick the
Dylan's
Monday
back.
night games real quick before we go to college?
Great call. I forgot about that. So Monday night games, we have back-to-back, doubleheader, whatever you want to call it. Opening game, as we mentioned earlier, Steelers at Giants. Steelers are giving up 5.5 to the Giants. Micah.
I am on the Giants as well. I think they keep this.
Co-sign.
Feels like a field goal game to me. I don't know why.
I got Giants plus 5.5.
You won't catch me in public going against Mike Tomlin, so I will ride with the Steelers here, and I've got some catching up to do. More on that Thursday. Titans giving up 3 points in Denver.
You want an underdog? I got you an underdog.
I got Tennessee -3.
Oh, I like Denver to win the game straight up.
Really?
Catch me on the
Straight
money
up?
line.
Oh, you're a Mizzou guy. That's why.
Drew Lock is about to just pull out that huge cannon of an arm and deliver.
Nobody heard Cannon coming after that.
No. He's going to deliver tonight. Shock the World Tour starts tonight. Go Broncos.
Okay, I will go with the Titans there. As much as I hate to see it, Henry is the truth. He reeled off that 99-yard touchdown against the Jags last year, and from there on out, I was a believer.
I love the Jags frame of references. It's my favorite thing.
I respect our listeners in the Southeast.
The
They've
1-0
gotta feel
Jags,
represented.
that is.
The
That's
1-0
right, first place
Jags.
Jags.
Exactly.
Wow.
Let me know how that
Real-
feels when your team gets there.
Before y'all move on from NFL, have you talked about Zeke's tattoo yet?
We will get to Zeke's tattoo
We'll get there.
for
Okay.
sure, because it's
That's,
we'll
in,
save
that's
it.
in the quick dip seg.
Oh,
I
my
believe.
bad.
It's
Okay.
remarkable.
Sorry.
We will
Sorry.
rush through
It's all
college
right.
football to make sure we can get ample time for that.
All right, let's talk college football. We got no Big Ten. We got no Pac-12, but we did see some football over the weekend. The Big 12 is a pretty terrible conference.
My
Seems to
gosh.
be very top-heavy with OU and Texas up there. Who else in the Big 12 has played or hasn't played?
Well,
They've all played.
Baylor didn't play,
Baylor didn't
Yep.
play.
and TCU hasn't played, right?
Okay.
I wonder why.
But, yeah, Texas and Oklahoma rolled against lesser competition. Kansas, K-State, and Iowa State all get embarrassed at home
Texas
against
Tech
non-Power 5 teams.
Went to the brink with
Houston Baptist.
Houston
Who knew
Baptist?
Houston Baptist had a football program?
I know of Dallas Baptist. I've never heard of.
I've
Houston
never even heard of that
Baptist.
school.
DBU hits dingers. That's what I was always told as a kid.
Very small school. I didn't even know that was a football program.
And to
but-
be clear, Houston Baptist had a 2-point conversion to tie the game. They missed it. So it wasn't like they scored and were still a score behind. They were right there.
I had to look it up because the two of the three teams were from the Southland Conference, I believe is correct.
Could have been. I thought there was a Sun Belt victory in there too.
I'm sorry,
Two Sun Belt
Arkansas
teams.
State,
Yeah.
Sun Belt, and then Iowa State lost to. It's escaping me. Whoever Iowa State lost to was also Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Also Louisiana,
Formerly Lafayette.
also from the Sun Belt, and then
My favorite tweet that happened this week, sorry to interrupt
go
you,
ahead.
was when Arkansas State beat Kansas State, that Kansas State is no longer the best school with the words Kansas State in it. Because if you put an AR in frent of that, you have Arkansas State. It's just
Okay,
embarrassing
okay.
at home.
Clever.
But
Very clever.
and I hope, even though they're probably smart enough not to, that KU's football Twitter sent something out between the kick of their game and the K-State ending, because then they got waxed by Coastal Carolina.
They were down 28-3 at half, I think.
Embarrassing
Just
run
getting
for the Big
wrecked.
12.
2 years in a row, by the way, at home.
Is
Go.
Les Miles still there?
Yes.
Yes.
Year 2.
Goodness.
Oh, good point. I didn't think about that.
He's a Kansas.
Oh,
Too much grass. I will say this. I went into the weekend talking mad shit about Texas, and I will, just really to poke fun at Dylan and Sam Ellinger. This is not a mea culpa by any means, but I will give Texas more credit for their win over UTEP than OU putting Spencer Rattler and that team against Missouri State. Or, I'm sorry, Montana State.
No, it was
Missouri
Missouri
It's
State.
Missouri State? Okay.
With Bobby Petrino.
FCS team.
Yeah. that's
Bobby
true.
Petrino is their head coach now.
Did he wear the neck brace? I didn't see.
I think he's over it now.
Okay. But, nevertheless, good weekend for Texas and OU.
Yeah.
We had a note that I found a story about B.J. Foster, their safety, quitting in the third quarter, which would have been great, but it sounds like he might be allowed back on the team.
Yeah, but apparently he wasn't happy with the playing time he was getting in game one. If you quit in the third quarter and you come back to your coaches and you say sorry, you still quit on your team.
For sure.
He's going to have a hell of a time working his way back into the lineup.
It's not going to be a fun week for him, I can tell you
No.
that. That's going to be one of those things where they handle it in-house, which just means his workouts are probably now 5 a.m. workouts, and he's going to be running bleachers and all kinds of stuff.
I mean, that's like the ultimate.
Yeah, there's strength coaches in Oklahoma. I was trying to
That's
think
like
if Benny
the
Wiley was still
ultimate
there.
sin as an athlete. Is
For
just
sure.
quitting on your guys.
And I don't know how you do that as a college player. Like, you have a scholarship because you play football.
Yeah,
if you
this
just
guy-
quit the team, they're like, okay,
This
now you
guy
can pay
was
full rate. Like, I
highly
don't
recruited.
understand.
He's a big talent. Like if he has a good couple seasons, like he could potentially get looks from the NFL. It's a crazy move.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not
I
something
agree.
I'd be cool with, but again, depending on the caliber of the player, it's bound to happen or not bound to happen. It's going to happen these days. Not to be overlooked, another team had some issues along the I-35 corridor. David's not here to defend them, but did any of you catch the ending of those Texas State Bobcats and the Roadrunners from UT San Antonio?
I caught the highlights of it.
I found myself watching a lot of this game. I will just say one thing about this weekend. The slate was not exciting. This weekend's slate is not exciting either. I found myself watching a lot of college football Saturday. Like, I was just, like, flipping from game to game. Like, this is good, even though half the teams aren't playing.
The best game on paper was maybe Georgia Tech, Florida State.
Which turned out to be at least a close game. I don't know if it was a good game. But the Bobcats and Roadrunners, the I-35 rivalry, was wild.
Yeah.
Was wild and filled with inexplicable moments.
Yep.
I'll recap the last 4 minutes if I can. UTSA leads by 6. Texas State gets into the red zone. I think they score a touchdown that gets reviewed and overturned after review. Then they throw a pick 6. UTSA then is up 12 for some reason, inexplicably, doesn't go for 2 and kicks an extra point. This is like 3.5 minutes to go. So they lead by 13. Texas State goes back down the field, scores in like a minute. They go onside. They don't get the onside kick. I go jump in the shower. I come back, and a group chat I have with Dave is just blowing up because Texas State forced a 3-and-out, then returned a punt for a touchdown, and then missed what should have been the game-winning extra point. Then in 2 overtimes, in the second overtime, Texas State missed another 20-yard field goal, basically an extra point-length field goal.
Brutal.
And lose at home. Texas State, the most exciting 0-2 team in America. Both games on ESPN, both games shootouts, both games heartbreakers. Tough break for the Bobcats.
It's getting some airtime.
Yeah, a lot of love.
Airtime, man.
That one, I guess, ESPN too, but still.
Yeah.
No, what is his name? Brady McFootball in that game of note as well for the Bobcats
it was disappointing for Dave, I'm sure.
So let's
Is it puck talk time?
Is this puck time?
Let's talk puck with Brett Merriman.
Play the old NHL Tonight sounds.
Turn it up.
There you go.
We have
I just saw Barry Melrose. It popped into my head.
Hockey Night in
Bruvs.
Canada is playing.
Shouts to John Cherry.
Which
Actually,
game?
not shouts.
Who you want to talk about first? We got
he's been
we got
canceled.
Game 5, Stars Knights tonight. Do you watch much of Game 4?
I did not watch much of Game 4, but I've watched the series in general. I watched the Islanders game last night. 2 series that I'm excited about because I think it's just going towards a Stars Lightning clash in the Stanley Cup Finals. But
let me make a general comment. I mentioned earlier, hockey to me is so frustrating to watch. If like halfway through the second period of Game 4, it looked like the Golden Knights were in complete control of the game. They're only up 1-0, but they had like doubled shots on goal. They were on the Dallas side of the ice pretty much the majority of the first half of the game. And then a little fluke, a little backhanded flop shot, tied up.
Pavelski.
And it's frustrating, man.
Hockey is one of those games where it's not as bad as soccer, where like 1-0 feels insurmountable, but 2-0 or a tie game where the momentum is just completely switched is tough. They do say 2-0 is the worst lead in hockey, but hockey is one of those games that momentum makes all the difference. And like a power play, a tacky penalty, power plays are scoring at 25, 28% a clip. That's meaningful stuff. A holding penalty in the NFL doesn't equate to points as many times as a power play does in hockey. So in these series, the problem with the Knights right now is their top line has been non-existent, and Khudobin on the other side has been
He's been a monster.
Out.
Yeah.
952
Shouts to
save
that
percentage.
guy.
95 out of every 100 shots he's facing, he's saving.
Standing on his head. Don't know what it means? Great hockey term.
Yeah, I don't either, but we've used it since I was 4 years
Standing
old.
on his head.
I don't watch hockey often, but I came across the end of game 4 the other night. Like the last 4 minutes, I think the Golden Knights had a 5-on-3 power play at one point, and then it went to 4-on-5, and then the last 2.5 minutes, the Stars kind of skated around. I'm not invested in this at all, other than the rivalries we have on this podcast. I found myself just like more nervous than I've been watching a sporting event in
Yeah.
months. Like you just can't even hold your breath. I'm like jumping up and down. When they finally cleared the puck the last time, I'm like fist pumping, and I don't even know why. I mean,
it's intense.
It's very intense, and I love it.
Nerve wracking.
Do you have a hockey team, Micah?
No, I don't. I'm nominally a Stars fan. I have some friends that a friend that works for the team, and so we have some connection there. But I don't care generally.
thought
But
you were saying
I'm ready to get on the bandwagon.
You were all about the Kraken or something like that.
No, that is not me. I am not a fan of the Kraken.
The crack house was your thing, right?
Oh, the crack house. That's closer. Yeah.
Is there any more innocuous like play in sports that is extremely like, oh shit, yes, or relieving than clearing a puck in hockey, like in the last
Especially
minute?
at the end of a 5-on-3 power play.
Like-
It was like, oh yeah,
It's
it
such
is.
a
It is nice.
a small, I guess, like maybe hitting a free throw, like in a clutch moment where it's a very simple play or sinking like a 3-foot putt, but it means the world in that moment. I don't know that football has that kind. I guess hitting an extra point would be the equivalent.
It's just one of those. It's just a game that never stops.
Yeah.
You get more buildup than you would, and I guess maybe if like a deep ball where you're just like, oh, like I hope that gets broken up. But playoff hockey, I will always argue, is the best of the four sports. Any playoff.
What's your outsider? And by outsider, I mean as far as these four teams. I don't. The Islanders obviously are not your team. You're a Sabres guy.
Lightning look pretty unstoppable.
Lightning look dominant. I will say this: the Islanders have been kind of done wrong this series. There's a couple like last second goals. They're another hot goalie. Braden Point has been unbelievable, and Nikita Kucherov coming back this series has been unbelievable. The Sabres or the Islanders are kind of getting done wrong in this series. I don't think they deserve to be down 3-1. I think at this point their back is kind of broken. They're just like, what do we have to do, man? The Lightning goalie of Vasilevsky has been unbelievable too. So, unfortunately for the Islanders, I think they're toast. I think the Lightning put it away. I think the Knights tonight have enough of a veteran presence to get to 3-2. I mean, they're favored tonight to get back into it.
Yeah, they are favored again.
But I don't think they can take it to 7, let alone get back in the series.
It looked like they have played really well in this series. I mean, I don't know. I'm new to hockey, obviously, but to me, it looked like they had so much momentum throughout pretty much every game of the series, -1 maybe.
Tonight feels like one of those games where it's either 4-0 Vegas or 4-0 Dallas, like quick. I don't see a close game tonight.
Okay.
In other news in the NHL world, the Sabres are a debacle. They self-imposed a low $70 million salary cap. The
What?
81.5 is the cap, and they said we're self-imposing a $70 million salary cap. This
it
year.
announced it.
Sources say,
Okay.
but those sources have tended to be pretty close to the team. If you were in that bad of a position, and their owners are the Pagulas, who are natural gas, oil, and for whatever reason, the Buffalo Bills, spend all you want, but when it comes to the Sabres, well, we're crunching the team down. Spin them off, please. Sell them to somebody who cares about this. They care about the city of Buffalo, cares about hockey. Take the Bills and run. Sell the Sabres. Calgary Flames have given Jeff Ward the official head coaching job, and Dallas, rumor has it, has offered Rick Bowness.
Yeah, it's always been said that he didn't want to be a head coach. After their season is done, and David definitely needs to be here for it, recapping this year for the Stars, like from season beginning to now, obviously COVID has a lot to do with it, but from their manager or their coaching switch in the middle of the season, early in the season, after having like a great team last year, there's just a lot to be said, but we'll save that for a later date.
It's Talking Puck.
Thank you, Brett.
Well done.
You're welcome to stick around if you
Authentic
Yeah,
puck.
I'll hang out.
You know about other sports too, right?
I think so.
Okay. Let's talk about a little basketball.
In the Bubb.
In the Bubb with the boys. Lakers gentlemen sweep over the Rockets. The Rockets just quit on this series.
1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Did it not feel like they just quit on this series?
They were ready to get out of the bubble once they got down 2-1. The efforts the last two games were just pathetic.
That's what it seemed like, man.
You got to give LeBron credit, though. I don't know if anybody watched any. I mean, it's hard to watch basketball with everything else going on yesterday, but LeBron stepped on the gas in the first 10 minutes of this game. in a way that almost no other player in basketball could do. Like, he just said, we're winning this fucking game. We're not going to let them breathe for a second. We're going to stomp them out. And the game was over by the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
It was really impressive. And I think LeBron doesn't get enough credit for doing stuff like that. But the Rockets were embarrassing. They had the fiasco with smuggling a COVID tester into somebody's hotel room.
Yeah, I guess we missed
Daniel
that story,
House.
huh?
Yeah, it's kind of in between, which said, Harden said that he was upset about. There's a lot of rumors out there. I don't know. But the Rockets are it was embarrassing, really. And now D'Antoni is already out.
Is the Harden Westbrook experiment over? Is one of Westbrook's moving on? Is that what we think?
I don't know who you trade that man to. He's got a $40 million contract and like 3 years left on it. You got to find a team that'll take him. I don't know if there's one out there.
Yeah.
Him and Harden both said nice things about playing with each other in the future. So, but D'Antoni is already out. We'll see how much longer Daryl Morey is there. This whole Rockets thing could be blown up, and we'll see. That's the kind of the interesting
They signed
thing
him for
about
a
that.
5-year, $200 million
Are
contract.
they going to pick up a center in the offseason?
I think that's
Someone over 6'5",
Yeah.
perhaps?
Over 6'5"?
That's what they discovered, that they thought that they were going to build against the Lakers by doing what they did. And I commend their experiment.
Right.
It worked to a certain point. But I don't think that you don't get the Warriors success if you didn't have the random Zaza Pachulia or, who do they have? McGee, JaVale McGee 1 year. And they've had some other bigs in there, but you've got to have some sort of a presence when you run into teams like the Lakers, although there aren't many teams that have an AD out there who's not even running as a 5. So what they tried, it worked to a certain extent. They found out it didn't work. Shout out to them for this amicable parting of ways with D'Antoni and Tillman Fertitta being like, hey, great guy. Wish him and the wife the best. I'm glad they handled that professionally, but
Tillman's just glad he doesn't have to write a check.
I was about to say, if you're the Rockets, you've got to be worried about your future because all of Tillman Fertitta's money is coming from the hospitality industry, and you got to think that's not feeling great right now.
Yes. He is the most highly leveraged owner in the NBA,
Yeah.
and all of his assets, a majority of his assets are like seafood restaurants that are on the water, which are more susceptible to climate change. It's things are dangerous there for the Rockets.
Are you shorting Tillman Fertitta is what you're saying?
Yes, I am bearish on Tillman Fertitta.
What about the other? So one series that's we won't get too far into. Eastern Conference Finals start on Tuesday. The Toronto-Boston series was phenomenal to watch the last couple games of. Toronto fought their asses off, being down 3-1, and then fought it back to
No, it was 2-2.
2-2. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the Denver series.
They almost lost
But yeah.
game 3. Had to hit a miracle shot. Toronto's got stones. Boston was impressive down the stretch. They got it done. Marcus Smart had that big block.
That team's going to be around for a while. That's scary to see.
They're young.
But the Denver, help me out here, Clippers series, the Nuggets Clippers series goes to Game 7 tomorrow, correct?
Yes, tonight is actually the first night without basketball since the Bubb reopened, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
The Denver's won games 5 and 6, kind of inexplicably. I think everybody figured Kawhi and his team of robots would just close that thing out, but Denver has refused to be eliminated. Now we got a Game 7. I don't see how Denver does it again, but they would be the first team in NBA history to win 2 series when trailing 3-1 in the same postseason.
Yeah, it's not enough can be said for how balanced that team is. Going into the playoffs, I talked a lot about Jokic, and then we've talked about Murray and how much of a star he's become throughout this series. But I think they show what the Rockets don't have, and that's balance.
Mm-hmm.
So if they win this game, they're not going to beat the Lakers. I will happily be wrong, but they at least will roll out a team that will give some problems to the Lakers because the Lakers have no front. They don't have any point guards aside from LeBron. So yeah, there's your basketball talk.
Did you talk Rondo's brother?
Oh yeah,
I don't know if this is
I didn't-
quick tip.
Is that who got into it with Westbrook?
yeah.
His name apparently is William Rondo, which
And
is funny.
He's in charge of the barbers and the
Manicurists.
manicurists in the bubble. So he's been in the bubble.
Oh god.
But
So he and that's for all the all teams.
I would assume, yeah,
Okay.
he's kind of heads that up. That
I was
department
wondering
up.
who it was that he was getting into it with.
Yeah,
And he got kicked out of the game.
he did. That's all I had on it. I just
So-
saw that.
Westbrook was steaming in the second half of that
Jeez.
game. man.
They've got to control it. I mean, that's who he is. That's how he's going to play. But if the series would have gone the other way and the Rockets are still around, if you're Westbrook, are you getting your haircut for the rest of the time in the bubble? You're like, nah, fam, I got it myself.
It's so weird because you go into the bubble like that, and it's the only people out in there are family, and like close friends or whatever. You don't expect to get chirped from the stands. It's like what? And plus, in that environment, you can hear everything, right? It's not like you have to yell over the sound of a crowd. So it's like.
I can't wait to see the breakdown of like their experience when they get out. I kept talking about like the sex side of it, but genuinely the game experience, like you said, you're not expecting that. But like for the first 2 weeks, there was nobody but media.
Right.
Now you've got family. Now you've got like other people in the arena as they get safer and safer or smaller and smaller. But it's going to be interesting how it plays out the last 4 teams. So we'll touch on that next week.
I think it'll be fun to see in LA Western Conference Finals.
Hoping for Denver, but we'll see.
Yeah. I like Murray a lot.
Jokic, he's going to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
That dude looks like the best. He's not going to walk off the bus and be intimidating. Well, I guess he's huge. So
I was going to say, not visibly looking the best.
Yeah, he looks
kind
like
of
the best guy at the Y, but that dude he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
You want to do some quick dips?
Quick dips.
Do we have a sound?
Bad sounder.
I want my chips with the dip.
It's close enough.
Hey,
that's good.
That fits. We got the U.S. Open this weekend. Winged Foot.
Not the tennis tournament.
Nope.
Yeah,
We're
golf.
talking
Major
here, baby.
major championship golf.
Major
We'll probably
golf
do a little
tournament.
more talking about that on Thursday,
Yeah.
I guess, as
Yeah.
we get closer.
Where's Winged Foot?
Oh, Westchester, New York.
Oh.
Not quite upstate, but
The greatest logo in all of golf.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a foot with a wing on it.
Goodyear
It's
tire?
dope.
yes,
It's
very
kinda
good
tight.
tire.
I like it.
Who is the Greek god?
Achilles. Maybe.
No, Randy? Archimedes? He invented the screw.
He said Charles Barkley's.
What's going on?
All right.
All right.
Hermes?
Hermes.
Hermes? That's
Hermes.
I work
and then
for Hermes.
Hermes is the brand, but Hermes is the wing
that's
footing.
who we're looking
Saturday
for.
Night Live joke.
Like
Four.
Mike said, we'll talk more about this on Thursday.
Thank you.
Y'all see Zeke's new tattoo?
Jeez. I'm sad that I did. Obviously, David let us all know that it's effing terrible, but that's
bad. It's bad.
Explicit.
Yeah. So Zeke scores.
I love it.
Inexplicable.
Zeke scores a touchdown last night, and his celebration is lifting up his shirt and exposing his new tattoo, which says "Feed Me," and it has at least one spoon on there. And of course, he does the "Feed Me" after every first down.
And
hand
it's
gesture.
famously on his navel, as he likes to wear half shirts.
Yes.
So this is the quite a tattoo. This is a large tattoo.
He's a
too.
big crop top guy.
And he's got a spoon off to the side. I
spoon.
just noticed that for the first time.
It's got a spoon on it. I don't know. I wouldn't have gotten this, but that's just me.
I do respect that he went with his college number, it looks like, in the dog tag. Is that a number 2 and not the 21? It's hard to say.
Looks like it.
But, yeah, as someone who we know enjoys Molly and partying and going out in the nightlife.
Allegedly.
Yeah, his post NFL stomach, I'll say, it might look a little different than it does now.
There's going to be some space between the F and the E and the E and the D and this tattoo over the years. Sad to say, this is not the worst athlete tattoo that I've seen. It's definitely up there. But next up, we bring you another Dallas Cowboy who he wanted to memorialize being drafted 189th. So, good nod to the pod. He has a chip on his shoulder.
Who is this?
That is cornerback Anthony Brown.
Is he still with the team?
He is still with the team. He played last night. The sadder part here is the chip he chose is a fucking ruffle.
Just plain ruffle. Now, there's a too much dip thing here. I mean,
yeah. I wonder if we could call him, see if he wouldn't switch this up to like a tortilla chip.
That would be better.
And that way in post career he knows he can like turn that into like dip instead of the 189.
It's so weird. It sort of looks like a seashell. It's just a strange tattoo of a ruffle. I don't like this at all.
I don't know how you pivot from this tattoo once it passes. Like Zeke, I don't know what you do there. You just shade in all the letters. And just be like, bead me, and he can just live in New Orleans or something. But this, I don't know what to say.
how about a fish?
Okay.
You could do a fish.
Okay.
With a fin.
I don't know
Maybe angel wings.
I don't know the name of the article, like the style of clothing, but there are dresses that look like that too. So they could pivot into like a wife's dress. So last but not least, and definitely the worst athlete tattoo that I recall, Alabama's own A.J. McCarron.
Oh.
This has been a gift that's been given
It's a classic
for ages.
What is AJ up to these days?
Hanging out with Brent Musburger's dream date. Whatever.
He was with the Raiders, I believe.
Yeah. Not too long ago.
He is a quarterback for the Texans at the moment.
Okay. Respect.
Catherine Webb is the woman you're looking for.
Brent Musburger just like completely simped over
Correct.
in the middle of a
All
national
time,
game.
All-time clip right there.
So yeah,
this is bad.
there's more to it than obviously he's expanded. The one on the left was a before and after on the right. I don't even know what all is in it, but it is just not. It's not good. I think like it says Bama Boy on the top part.
It definitely says Bama Boy.
And maybe home team on the left. Yeah.
His tattoo features a dangling cross, a reference to his MVP status from the BCS championship, the words home team, a couple of doves, and the phrase God in control. There's also a bunch of stars and clouds to go along with the original text, including Bama Boy and the names of family members, and of course a picture of weeping Jesus.
You've got to bring it on back to Jesus. So A.J. McCarron takes the cake for too much tat of the week.
I'm back, guys.
Anything
Sorry.
you want to back up and see Anthony Brown's tattoo before we push forward? You missed the other cowboy tattoo that is terrible. Cornerback Anthony Brown has a chip on his shoulder for being drafted 189th.
It's got too much dip on it, doesn't it?
A little too much dip.
Did someone make that joke already?
A little bit.
It was implied.
The only thing that wasn't said is, does this not look like a Shiner bottle tattoo? Or not Shiner, a Lone Star beer bottle cap?
like the little riddle underneath.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's numbered, and so you've got to look up the bottle cap number to figure out the ones you
look up
can't
on their
get.
website. That's funny.
All right.
Yeah, that's not okay.
That's what we've got for quick
to
dips.
explain why this is my second time bouncing out of the room. Parks had to go pee again.
Oh, hey, it happens. David's not here. Somebody's got to be the little bladder in the room.
That's right.
We could talk about Mike McCarthy,
Yes.
who I mentioned earlier is a big fat, pathetic fatty. I'm just so mad. I'm sorry. I'm just so mad at the narrative that Mike McCarthy put out, that he tricked Jerry Jones into, that he spent the entire year off from football like in a shed learning about football, and then he comes back and makes a totally inexplicable fourth down decision in his first game as coach. He looked terrible with the mask on. I think we've got a photo of this. He just also looks big as a house. Like, I'm afraid the guy's going to die. Andy Reid also looked hilarious with his mask on, which the memes were fantastic on that as well.
Oh, my gosh.
Just fogged
That
up.
is Iron Man, for sure.
That's definitely going to be a Halloween costume, no doubt about it. Andy Reid's always a go-to, but the fogged up Andy Reid is going to be good.
Right.
And then I don't know if we have a photo of Matt Patricia yesterday, but Matt Patricia looks larger than these two other men.
60 pounds
He's
on
huge.
in the offseason.
He's huge, and he is such an asshole. He also said, he asked if the coaching let the team down in the fourth quarter yesterday, and he said, I don't think so, Mike. I guess the reporter named Mike. I think I've got one of the biggest plays in the fourth quarter in the history of the NFL where I think I did a pretty good job, which he's referring to the fourth down play in the Super Bowl 5 years ago, or fourth quarter play in the Super Bowl where Malcolm Butler made an interception, where not Matt Patricia made the interception, but Malcolm Butler made an interception.
He did make the call to put Butler in on the play, but I agree.
Again,
that is such a weird thing. Of course, the stats that the Lions fired their last, Jim Caldwell went 9-7 and got fired, and Matt Patricia's like 9-23 as the head coach, so probably not a good choice. And man, just ease up off the cholesterol. I'm scared for these guys.
I hear you, man.
Post Peloton Micah is.
I know. I'm really down to fat shame. I'm sure the Reddit's not going to like this.
Football coaches in quarantine. It just doesn't. It's not a good combo.
Apparently, it's not.
These guys have been doing nothing but watching film and crushing beers and crushing fast food for the last 6 months.
Dog cussing their kids.
No mini camp. Watch film in my basement. Eat Popeyes. Done.
You guys ready to get H?
Let's do it.
When my team wins a big game, it's good. But when my team doesn't win the big game, you better look out, Buster. I'm a loose cannon. This is not good at all.
It's the Horny Report. What do we H for this week, guys? Michael, we'll start with you.
I am H for Game 7 tomorrow. I am H for the Eastern Conference Finals. And I'm H for Week 2 of the NFL. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed watching Red Zone through a weird illegal stream yesterday. Just eating trash, drinking Miller Lights. I had a great time, and hopefully my fiance will allow me to do it again on this Sunday.
How many?
For the whole thing, I mean, that's like 6 eggplants out of 5.
You're off the charts.
Yeah, I'm off the charts.
Off the charts.
I'm H.
Okay.
I'm a hard H.
KJ, what about you?
I will stick with the standard eggplants here, and I will be 5.5, breaking the scale to see the Stars wrap it up tonight.
That's pretty rude.
Hey, it's all out of love.
Yeah.
Just put them to sleep early, let them get back to their families.
I've been very H these past couple weeks about playoff hockey.
Yeah.
I'm not so H anymore, being down 1-3 against the Stars. But losing to the Stars, I'm not going to be too upset about that.
Fair.
I'm a Texas guy. I got friends who are Stars fans. It's all right. I would love to say I'm super H for college football, but I don't. There's just this whole season has a big asterisk on it for me. I can't get totally behind the league since 2 of the main conferences are not playing. It's just weird. And maybe they'll turn it around and they'll change their minds and they'll start playing again, and I'll get right back in. I'm still excited for college football, like 3.5 eggplants. But right now I'm mostly just H for the NFL.
Fair.
Even though my boys are 0-1, it's just a great product. I love watching the NFL. Fantasy football, red zone, all that shit. It's just too much fun. We'll go 4.5 eggplants.
No, you're up to 4.5.
4.5.
Okay.
Yeah. 3.5 was for college football.
Brett.
5.5 splash emojis.
I love it.
Out of 5 for the Sunday that we are about to have, for the first time in history, a major championship, Stanley Cup Finals, NBA Finals, and NFL football.
Holy
on one day.
crap.
Wow.
I don't have enough TVs.
Can we get a bang sounder or something?
Oh, yeah.
Mama, there goes that man.
That's good.
Bang!
There we go.
Bang! It's good.
I believe the other day was the first time in maybe ever that NHL, MLB, NFL, college football were all on the same.
MLS was included in there
all
too.
happened on the same day. Something crazy like that. Truly weird times. But for sports, it's been kind of a dope past few weeks, and it's going to continue to stay dope.
No doubt.
I'm into it.
That's it's just going to be like a Sunday golf nap is just going to hit so different.
You're not going to have time to nap. You're going to miss too much shit if you take a nap.
Fine. I won't fucking nap, Dylan.
No, I wouldn't nap, man.
I don't want to send you back to the Red Bull diet, but geez, like if ever.
This morning.
You're going to miss Red Zone.
Yeah, no, I just, while we were on this podcast, purchased the Sports Plus package, which also features TVG, horse racing.
Okay.
How about that?
For the degenerates out there.
Yes, of which I am one.
Mike, are we ready to run it back?
Sure.
Is there a
There
thing for
is.
that?
I think it's on the second page, but
We got you here.
Oh, yeah, the Mike Tyson Punch-Out music.
So here we go.
you got to turn that way down. Hello, and welcome to Run It Back, the segment in which we talk about what we previously talked about. Will has renamed Chelsea the Honey Express. Dylan is, of course, a whippet boy, just like the young player for Man U. Aston Villa's Jack Greeland. His bottom half looks like Micah, and his top half looks like Zac Efron.
Goodness.
Dave is a hammer. I think that's a soccer reference. Oh, okay. This is the year that Dylan has gotten into stuff he hasn't traditionally gotten into. He also prefers 18-year-olds doing whippets over actual soccer play.
I think I speak for everybody.
You doubled down on the whippets, huh?
Look, this.
I'll listen back.
Parks wants to beat the crud out of Dave.
Yep.
Jalen Smith is officially washed and now part of the team. Drinking bowel prep liquid is the best way to watch a Cowboys Sunday nighter, according to Dave. Dave's Uber driver also said that Tom Brady's a bitch. Bobby Petrino did not wear a neck brace on the sideline this week. There's no relief in sports like clearing the puck. Brett wants to spin the Sabres off. Dylan wouldn't have gone with the Zeke tattoo on his own body. Anthony Brown has too much dip on his chip on his shoulder blade, and it looks like a Lone Star bottle cap. Football coaches in quarantine is not a good combo. Micah and KJ are both off the scale horny. Dorn is 4.5 eggplants out of 5, and Brett is 5.5 splash emojis for Sunday. And that was Run It Back.
Good stuff, Micah.
Thank you, Dylan.
That was a fun episode.
Hey,
it was.
Did you guys have fun?
I loved it. Some people said without David, maybe we'd go a little overtime. You know what? I feel like we hit more topics in less time. No offense.
Thank y'all for having me, by the way.
Thanks for coming
Brett.
on, man.
Talk
We got
Buck
Brett.
stuff.
We
Yeah,
got
others
Will.
around, and others.
As we knew you would.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Look, guys, don't forget to follow this podcast on Twitter, which is @TooMuchDip with 2 P's, and on Instagram, which is @TooMuchDipPodcast.
And leave a review. Maybe we'll read some reviews next
Give
week.
us 5 stars. If you think we earn less, just don't rate it.
Yeah,
Just leave it
that's
alone.
good.
If you have any issues with podcasts, hit up Micah.
I guess.
I just suggest you say something on the Reddit, and I won't look at it.
Bye.
And don't forget, we'll see you Thursday for the live stream.
Yes.
All right, let's get out of here.
Uh-oh.
Hold
False
on.
start.
Bear with us.
We're still here.
I want my chips with the dip. That's
go.
all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.